We are back with another NXT UK review, finally. So let's just jump right into it. So we start off with a massive announcement. Obviously Walter broke his hand, apparently legit, last week or at some point. And so the match between Ilya and Walter was called off. And thus, Slimy Sid was like, you know what? We spoke to NXT management and they have something to say to you. So NXT management, being Triple H, Shawn Michaels, happy birthday Shawn, and William Regal, announce that the Ilya Dragunov versus Walter match, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter 2, will take place at NXT Takeover 36 in the United States on August 22nd, which is a great spotlight for NXT UK. I think it's great that they're going to be showing that on a pay-per-view, because it'll just get more eyeballs on the product. It'll get Americans wanting to watch NXT UK. I'm pretty sure it's probably on Peacock, right? I don't know, but I'm assuming it's live on Peacock the same as it is on the network in the UK. So that's awesome. Looking forward to that. I think Ilya's going to pick up that belt finally, so Walter can move on and continue wrestling at NXT main. Maybe him versus Samoa Joe would be a great match to see for the NXT main title, but we'll see. Let me know what you think is going to be the result of that match when you think about it being on Takeover 36, and thus we move on. After that amazing announcement, we then get a Symbiosis promo, and look, the Symbiosis promo was fine. Everything said was fine. The only thing I didn't like is they had this really just like weird overlay, like a transparent layer on top of the promo. The promo was shot really well, but they had this transparent layer on top of like what's meant to be symbiosis. It kind of looks like something out of like the Venom movie, and it's like these little twigs almost type, like meant to be like the symbiotes from Venom, just like it's just moving through them, and I'm like, this is distracting me from what's being said. But it was just Eddie Dennis and his homies calling out Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain, Big Strong Boys. They're like, we're big strong men. I'm like, oh, I think you're all men, as far as I know. So yeah. But after that slightly underwhelming promo, we have our first match tonight, which is Laura Di Matteo, an Italian wrestler. I'm not the most well versed in indie wrestling. Let me know if you know about Laura Di Matteo's wrestling in the comments down below. Versus Nina Samuels. Nina Samuels, who obviously was taken out by Amel when they went to go confront my girl, Meiko Satomura. I say my girl, but she's older than me and very much respect her because she's one of the greatest female wrestlers, if not greatest wrestlers to ever live. But Nina Samuels takes on Laura Di Matteo. This is a very strong showing for Nina Samuels. Laura Di Matteo does get some offense in, but Nina Samuels is very playing dirty and also a lot of submission wrestling. But then Laura Di Matteo gets a little bit of a fight back, but then Nina Samuels comes back with her own offense, mostly using her power, and then she has a new finisher which she uses to win, which is, I don't know how to describe it. Like, she's got her in a carry over her shoulder, pulls down Laura Di Matteo into a knee into the face, which I think is really cool. But if you get a few too many rotations on that and you need someone in like the head, like I'm assuming when they're doing that, she's going to hit them in like the neck or the shoulder, which is fine, but if you miss a little bit, you might hit someone in the head. But it's a sick finish, and I like that they're building up Nina Samuels a little bit. Then we have this very beautifully shot Tioman and Rohit Raja, Rohit Raja? I think it's I've forgotten. Rohan and Rohit Raja. It's completely my bad. I was Googling him as well during this episode. Just a beautiful promo, beautifully shot. Just Tioman talking about family and how Rohit Raja is his brother. Tioman, would be loved by Dominic Toretto family. And then we have another backstage with Xia Brookside. She's about to give an interview. She's interrupted by Bea Priestley, now Blair Davenport. It's going to take some time to get used to that name, okay? She's interrupted. Bea Priestley's like, oh, you know what, you've been here for 3 years, not really made an impact. I've been here for 5 minutes and everyone's talking about me. And she's like, Zaya, you're only relevant because of your dad's name. I'm like, oh, holy shit, oh my god, damn, nepotism got called out, baby. Zaya Brooks is a fantastic wrestler, okay? But, shit. So, I'm looking forward to that feud. I think B Priestley's going to go over there. Yeah, there's not much more there. Then after that, we've got a Supernova session with, obviously, Noam Dar, and then Ginny and Joseph Connors. This was confusing because everyone here was a heel, correct? But Noam Dar was just being a bit of a dick. Obviously, that's his thing, but even to super dickish to Ginny, like, been almost kind of sexist too, which is kind of, obviously it plays into him being a heel and everyone hating him. But even I was like, man, I feel for Ginny. But then Ginny, love Ginny, because she's just like, she didn't take any bullshit from Noam. He was like, ooh, is you and Joseph Connors' relationship more than business? Then they did this, you know, it kind of looked like, you know those adverts you see for apartment buildings and flats and like hotels you see on like American TV, if you've ever seen American TV, very cheesy type thing of Joseph Connors living the high life with Ginny, and he's like smart people associate with smart people. Joseph Connors has gone up in life, this is purely business. And then like Noam Dar's like, oh, I'm boyfriend material, then Ginny calls him cheap. And then Ginny gets really offended by the end of it, and Ginny's just like, you know what, Noam, shut up. I'm going to do the talking. And she calls out Aoife Valkyrie. It's like, Aoife, let's fucking go, basically. I love Ginny. Ginny is fantastic. Ginny is amazing. I mean, Joseph Connors has been fantastic since he's paired up with Ginny, and just add Saxon Huxley to that team. Come on. I love Saxon Huxley. Up next, we have a Rampage and Joe Coffey promo. Just Rampage being like, I gotta win the third match, brother. The third match, brother. So that'll be a great match. Joe Coffey, Rampage, great wrestlers. And then we finally get another match. This episode was heavy on promos and backstage stuff. Obviously, they're setting up a lot of stories. Probably maybe to be in line with maybe when they start letting fans in to recordings. I don't know if, but they've got this at BT Studios in London. They might just stay there because I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they're gonna have fans there. Who knows? I know you can shoot live shows there, so maybe. I digress. It'd be cheaper for them to stay in there, by the way, if they have a good deal with BT. Anyway, that's just TV talk. So it's Tristan Archer from WCW versus WXW fame versus Joseph Connors. Throughout this match, Joseph Connors, again, kind of similar to the Nina Samuels, Laura Di Matteo match. Joseph Connors is very much in charge. Commentary is very good with Shepard and Nigel McGuinness going on about how Joseph Connors has changed. I like it. It's very British. There's a lot of social commentary as well in their commentating. I just love it, man. I love UK commentary. It's, in my opinion, the best commentary, because you've got Nigel, who knows everything about wrestling and can play a little bit of a heelish role. And you got Andrew Shepard, who's kind of, I know he's known for his like his sports background in commentating, and I think even he has his own sports background, I believe, but I digress. But anyway, Joseph Connors goes over in this match. There was a little bit towards the end of the match where Tristan Archer gets a lot of offense in, but Joseph Connors overcomes it, and then hits his finisher, which he calls the hierarchy, which I don't even know how to describe it, but he wins. So, and apparently since he's been with Ginny, Joseph Connors is undefeated in singles competition, which, you know what, I think is great. If Ilya picks up that title against Walter, you continue having Joseph Connors pick up these wins against maybe not the biggest opponents in NXT UK. Like, I don't expect him to get a win over Tyler Bate. I don't expect him to get a win over Rampage or Joe Coffey. But you can build him up that he gets enough wins under his belt where you can conceivably see him being Ilya Dragunov's first title defense. not like the hardest defense in the world, but it's nice to give him that opportunity. And before you, like, I think your first title defense is either something super meaty, or it's a rematch, or it's like a brand new challenger, an up and coming challenger who you're trying to get the ropes with when you got the title. And obviously it's gonna be Ilya's first time with the title. I'd love to see Joseph Collins versus Ilya Dragunov. Let me know in the comments down below if you think of that. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Yeah. And then after this match, although this does feel like it's just a vehicle for Aoife Valkyrie's there. She's by the ramp. She's standing there. She's like, ooh, mysterious. I like the purple light they use. Ginny goes out. Ginny faces her. They have to stare down. Aoife takes a feather out of her attire and hands it to Ginny, who kind of like crumples it and throws it, and they stare at each other. And then we cut to another backstage, which is Jordan Devlin. He comes out of Slimy Sid's office, and they come up to him and be like, oh, did you know you got an Iron Man match against a kid? A 30-minute Iron Man match. I'm like, wait, what? You're going to put on a 30-minute Iron Man match? Okay. When? Next week there's already a few matches announced, I think. I don't know. And then Devlin's like, a kid is the stupidest man in the world. Yeah, he's achieved a lot, but he's stupid, because I know he's not healed. He'd face me in this Iron Man match? No. I think they'll probably go to sudden death. 1-1 and sudden death might be where they go with it. But it'd be a fucking bloody brilliant match. Then, not our final backstage promo of the night, and the most awkward one, frankly. Dave Mastiff is backstage. Oh, Dave, what are you up to? Oh, you know, I'm tending to my muscles with that massager, which looks like it does something else, if you know what I mean. And then Jack Starr comes like, Dave, thank you for everything you've done for me. I want to face Tyler if it wasn't for you. And then Mastiff, they're both very, I just don't feel like either of them are very strong actors. They're both great wrestlers, but the acting's just not there. And frankly, I'm probably a shit actor. I'm probably a worse actor. But Mastiff's just like, this, he like gives him the massage and this, there's a lot more to come. Which, in my opinion, is like, oh, you're going to give me a Mastiff and Jack Starr's tag team. Amazing. Mastiff can carry Jack Starr's to maybe a title win. Or they go on a run trying to win the titles, they lose, Mastiff goes heel and beats the shit out of Jack Starr's. Amazing. That's what I want to see. Either of those two. Probably the latter, because I want to see Mastiff beat someone up. For once, because Mastiff was like winning loads of matches, then he became fodder for everyone else to get over. Anyway, I digress. I'm just going to chill out. It's too hot for me to get loud. In the UK, it is still 20 plus degrees at 9:15 in the evening. No. Then our final backstage, thankfully, Trenty and Tyler are like, symbiosis, why? We're just gonna beat you again. And Tyler's like, I'm gonna put my Heritage Cup on the back burner, because Moustache Mountain is back. And they keep on saying, every time they team up, they're like, Moustache Mountain is back. But I'm like, I don't think Moustache Mountain goes anywhere, lads. You're both in NXT UK, it's just sometimes Trent doesn't wrestle. It's still there. Also, Pete's in the US, lads. But again, that's me being very nitpicky. I love Tyler and I love Trent, so Tyler, yeah, you know, we don't really, I know everyone on the first name basis. But yeah, I mean, Symbiosis might win this match, and then they'll go to another match, which will be like a street fight or something. But we move on to another tag team match. Love me some tag team wrestling. Subculture versus Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. I really like Pretty Deadly. I hate that I do, but I really do. So Subculture come out first. I don't like Subculture's entrance thing where they put a filter on the TV screen. I feel like, and obviously it's probably in post, isn't it? Because it's not live. It just feels like too much to me. Just feels like a lot is going on, and it's like, I don't mind the grey, but I think they've got subculture going all the way around in the box, and that is too much. / it feels like a social media post. It feels like something you'd throw on an Instagram post. Hey, at Paul Levesque, let me know. Social media. Follow me on Instagram, guys. But to run through this match, I'll run through the match at the beginning and I'll go in detail for the finish, because I think the finish was really creative. Pretty deadly for, obviously, the heels usually always start off strong in a tag team match. Pretty Deadly are powerful, playing dirty, countering a lot of this high-flying maneuvers from Flash Morgan Webster and Mandrews. But then, obviously, as things go on, the momentum shifts, and then this really cool spot where Pretty Deadly on the outside, the Mandrews both do tope con helos on them. Beautiful, love me a tope. What else can I say? And then there's a lot of 2 counts, like 2.5 counts, which are broken up by the partners, which is beautiful. Love that. But obviously, Pretty Deadly gets back in control. There's they cut off the ring a lot, but so then there's quite a few hot tags for Mandrews and Flash Morgan Webster. Subculture, I'll just call them subculture, it's far easier. This really cool spot where Mandrews hits a Stun Dog Millionaire, tags in what's his name? Tags in Flash Morgan Webster, and then they do this cool combo of a backstabber and a V trigger basically to the face, and it's 2 and 2.5. The brunette one in Pretty Deadly comes in and breaks up the pin. I think he's called Sam Stoker. I think he comes in and breaks up the pin. And then and Subculture do a similar thing where they hit, I think, 2 of their finishers on Mark Andrews again, I believe, and then Flash Morgan Webster just he leaps and breaks up the pin. I really like it. I think one of them they were kind of a little bit slow on the pin on the Pretty Deadly guys was broken up a little bit late. I feel like they had to kick out, at least from the the initial camera angle, it looked fine, but for some reason they showed a replay and you could see that the kick out happened before the pin was broken up. So that's just one thing I was just like, you shouldn't have showed us that separate angle. You showed us an angle which made it look like the pin was broken up as opposed to someone kicking out, because you want to sell it. But anyway, now we get into the finish of the match. So how do I describe this? So Subculture are on a tear. So Flash Morgan Webster hits this amazing, basically a claymore on the brunette one, and then Flash tags in Flash Morgan Webster. Flash Morgan Webster goes up. Mandrews goes up to hit a shooting star press, and then as he's doing it, the blonde one pulls out the other one. I need to learn their names. And so then Flash Morgan Webster comes in the ring, because obviously Mandrews is down. He goes to hit another tope. He gets caught, and then they kind of just flip him. So his head hits the barricade, and he goes on the outside of the ring. Subculture. So then it's just Morgan Webster. Danny Luna is checking on. Danny Luna is checking on Flash Morgan Webster. Mandrews is in the ring. And so the Pretty Deadly guys start fighting him. Mandrews gets some offense in. The blonde one from Pretty Deadly gets the title belt. He goes to stand on the apron and goes to hit Mandrews. Mandrews counters that. Belt's on the floor. So the ref is preoccupied with the belt. And then Pretty Deadly get up Mandrews for their finish and hit their finisher, which obviously they can't do because no one's been tagged in. But they do it. And the ref's like, oh wait, what's happened? Although the ref kind of turns around whilst the Pretty Deadly guy is still in the ring, which is like, just me nitpicking. They hit their finish and they get the 3 count on Mandrews. Great match. Frankly, I went into it being like, oh, Pete Daly's going to retain. Then as I watched, I was like, wait, they really did sell me on thinking Subculture might pick this up. But they might hold off on Subculture picking up a title maybe for when they can have fans. Because I think the fans will go nuts if Subculture have fans there when they pick up their title. So I think that's when they'll do that title change. But let me know in the comments down below when you think Subculture will pick up their second NXT UK titles, because I can't see any other tag team kind of going for the titles other than Subculture. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Like, subscribe, share that video with a friend and family, and hey, go watch some more awesome wrestling.